Hey everyone, this is Bank, and I thought I would kind of do, I guess you can consider this a pop up live because I did not schedule it. However, I had planned on going live tonight. I just didn't know what time I was going to be able to come in here and go live. So I know a lot of you usually are used to seeing me schedule these things, and you kind of wait out with me. So right now, I'm kind of talking to myself, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. So, yeah, if you are watching this on the replay, I'll go ahead and get started. If you are just coming in and you missed like these first few minutes, of course, rewind it. So I don't really want to get into too much until I kind of see some folks in the building. Hey, Queen Black, thank you, for showing up tonight. I appreciate that. Hey, yeah, I had decided I was going to go live earlier today, but I had to do some housekeeping. I had to do some things, get some things in order. But a part of me almost, I wouldn't say chickened out, but scrapped the whole idea of going live tonight because I know a lot of people are getting ready, to go to work and all that good stuff, and they have to get up in the morning, so it may be their bedtime. But I just wanted to get this out of the way. I wanted to get this out of the way. So, hey, in Harmon, when did you change your name to allegedly in Harmon? And I see you. Hey, let's talk about it. Hey, lady, thank you for coming in tonight. Well, I titled this live channel update, and it's really not necessarily an update. I'll still be doing the same things that I am doing, but I went ahead and I did a thing. I did a thing tonight, and that thing was I turned my memberships on. Okay, and that is something that it was never something I was contemplating because I'm trying to grow my channel, and but I'm trying to do it in stages. I'm trying to make it manageable for me. I know myself, and knowing myself, it's better for me to take things in stages rather than you know, trying to bite off more than I can chew. Listen, I have ADD, undiagnosed ADD. I'm going to doctor myself. I know myself. And sometimes I have so many different ideas running around in my head that it gets to be overwhelming. And I tend to kind of shut down. In other words, I just kind of just say, okay, I'm done with this. I'm going to just scrap, whatever I'm thinking about doing or whatever I'm doing because I got to turn it off. It's like a faucet. I have to turn it off. Hey everyone, just now coming in. Hey Nana. Hey Nana. And us singers need love too. Hey lady. But yeah, so I was working on some things earlier today. And it really kind of started 2 nights ago. Well, to be quite honest, it started last week. I was kind of questioning my life choices and decisions last weekend, not this past weekend, but the prior weekend. I caught some kind of stomach bug, and it laid me out, and I just could not wait to feel better. But it took a little bit for my body to come back online to get my digestive tract back in order and get my strength up. I'm still suffering from a little bit of fatigue, and I think that is coming from a little bit of dehydration, and also I just was not eating as much, so my body is lacking all those nutrients. So when I really started to feel good, it's like my brain came online too. And the other night I was laying in bed, and my whole intentions was to go to sleep. And the way I go to sleep, because the way I think or the way my brain works, I have to almost distract myself, or else my thoughts will start to wander. So I was playing one of my mindless games that all of these ideas just started flooding as to what direction I can take my channel in, because right now I'm kind of in a lull. I'm kind of in a lull. Hey, everybody's coming in. Hey, LK. I'm kind of in a lull right now. And what I mean by that is that I don't have any transcripts to transcribe for Nesto. We do know that the big bulk of them came out earlier. I would say was it maybe late this spring. Um, I believe Phone Calls from Prison dropped them. I want to say maybe in April or May, something somewhere around there. And it was 211 pages I had to get through. And then working with my software and learning the software to transcribe them to audio, it was an adventure. But in the meantime, she was updating with more current text. And so I've been kind of keeping my eye out for those. She normally drops them in like 15-day batches, but Shay has her hands full over there. She does. I mean, now with that Wade Wilson content popping off, and hey, I can't blame her. But I don't want to step on any toes. Number one, and like assume or presume that anything that I want takes priority. Okay, but I do have a channel to run. So I was thinking like, okay, I just finished up the last of the big drop, the 211 pages and all of her updates. So now I'm just kind of trying to fill out what my subs want to see or hear. So I've been testing out some things here. I just uploaded a couple of days ago. I uploaded the Diddy indictment, and I just also I re-uploaded the other day. I think that was yesterday. My days start to run together, but I believe it was yesterday. It was a supercut of Shirley in one of her early conversations with Nesto, and that was interesting because I took that down because when I was my channel started to take off around the transcripts and I was looking at being able to get monetized, I ran into the whole reuse issue, which a lot of content creators are finding themselves falling into, and it's the shorts. The shorts are the trap. So if any of you on this live right now that are listening, um, is interested in creating a channel or you have a channel, I will tell you, in my opinion, shorts is a great way to build out your channel, to build up your subscribers. Watch hours, not so much, in my opinion, because they're only a minute videos, but it'll definitely get you subscribers. But a lot of us tend to reuse contents in our shorts. And since YouTube only gives you a minute to work with, you can't do a lot of transformation. So basically, what YouTube is signaling, and I believe Wisdom Daughter had this problem, is that they don't want you to share any shorts from any other platform. So if whether it's Instagram stories or TikTok, they don't really want you to share those. They make it really hard for you to transform them into something. Hey, Miss Mad About Music, how are you doing? I see you, Nola Brown and Mimi. Thank you, ladies. Cross country cruiser. Hey, lady. So yeah, so anyway, I'm kind of getting off track because again, that's where my mind wanders. So let me get back on track. So basically, I was trying to figure out what next and what to do next and where's my next bit of content coming from because I really honestly I love doing the transcriptions. They're tedious, they're time consuming, but I love doing them. So I've been testing out some things. I also did a reaction video which um let me just tell you something. I put that reaction video up, and that is not the first reaction I've done on this channel. If you go back to my some of my earlier videos, I've done reactions. And but what that reaction video reminded me that I really don't like doing reaction videos, at least not that way. Because the quite the if I want to be honest with you guys, I live in the chat. I live for the chat. I love participating in the chat. I love mixing it up with you guys. And if you see me out here on these YouTube streets and other content creators' chats, that's where I love it. I love mixing it up. And I love bouncing off of the comments. I love reading you guys' comments and responding to them and listening to other people's opinions. And it kind of drives the energy that I'm able to give to a reaction video. And so when I just kind of record one, I don't get that I don't get that bounce off. It's a really hard thing for me to do. So moving forward, if I decide to react to any videos, regardless if it's a police body cam video or something regarding Ernesto or wherever the content takes me that I decide to put on my channel, I would prefer to do it live. I really would, because I just it's almost like I don't know. I can't describe it. I can't describe it. So I promised myself the next time I do a reaction video, I'm definitely coming live to do it. So these ideas that I was talking about earlier. So if you're just coming in, I'm just kind of talking kind of laying the foundation to why I fired up the live camera tonight. Um, I started thinking about the things that I can do. And I realized that I had some content that Shirley ran. I just posted. I had it just sitting there. I had took it down because I thought that maybe it was a hold up. But now that I kind of understand YouTube better and how it works, I realized that it was perfectly fine. I redid it. I added some edits to it just to kind of make it interesting for anyone who's actually watching the video as to opposed to listening to it. And the way I've built my channel, I have a lot of people who they may not necessarily not sorry, I can't talk. They may not necessarily be subscribed to me, but they like listening to audio. So that's why I really like doing the audio transcription. So I got some things that I'm working on. So I got up in the middle of the night, got my notebook out, and I started writing down all these ideas that I had. And I was good. I was cool. And I said, let's start working on those ideas and let's start getting that stuff done. Well, in the middle of doing that, something else kind of just, clicked to me. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to go ahead and implement that. So that's why I spent all day kind of refreshing myself, familiarizing myself with the idea and bringing it to you guys. And memberships is a big part of that. So that is something that I've been working on is memberships. And so right now, let me go in um, and let me take care of that business real quick because I didn't want to turn them on until I actually went live. I have everything set up. I just haven't clicked the turn on button. So I am going to turn them on now. And then I'm going to tell you about my membership. Okay. Now, the more I come live, the more you'll get to know me. And I am that person who always thinks outside of the box. I'm not saying that I'm special, but I'm always looking at different ways to for lack of a better uh, way of saying it, I'm always looking for a better way or a more efficient way or a way that works for me to skin the cat. I can't just do what everybody else does. Okay. And that's always been me. I've always felt like a square trying to fit in a circle. At the end of the day, I am a creative nerd. Okay. And I like the technical parts of doing things. I like to get down to the nitty gritty and I like figuring things out. And I also like being different and standing out from the crowd. And I can easily come on here and just do reaction videos and take that route. I am well versed in the Nestoverse. I'm an A1 day one. That's for sure. Oh, cross country cruiser. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. Did you look at the perks because there's a surprise in the perks. Let me know if you actually looked at the perks because I consider it, a nice little bonus. Okay. So since Cross Country Cruiser has went ahead and become my very first member, I'll go ahead and cut to the chase and then I'll run it back if I remember. So not only do I do what everybody else will be doing, of course, doing members only chats, member only lives. I'm calling you guys my BTS crew, behind the scenes crew. And my overall plan is to kind of give you a behind the scenes look at what I do or how content is created. And I think that in a way, kind of number one, it will keep me energized. Hey, Legacy Moon. Yay. I'm glad you made it. I am so glad you made it, sis. You took the baton and you just ran with it. And I'm like, wow, I was helping her out and here I am acting like a chicken and not going live. But like anything else, it's like, being on a bike, learning how to ride a bike for the first time. You kind of got to just get in there. Hey, Lady T Book, I appreciate you. I know you got to get ready for your good government black job. So I appreciate you. Hey PW, hey sis, you were on fire in Legacy's chat. I love your commentary. You just keep me just a laughing and a giggling. In fact, you were slowing me down. Okay, I was laughing so much. But let me just finish and let me get through these perks. So one of the perks that I added was something that I have known about for over 20 years. And so I know that it's a very valuable perk, and I know it's a worthwhile perk. And it's been something that I even used in the past as an incentive with past business adventures. Sorry, past business ventures. But recently, I have been looking at it off and on as a way, to kind of incorporate it in anything else that I was looking to do. And part of that was content creation because that is something that I'm really big on. I'm not talking about YouTube content. I'm talking about digital products and content creation. I really, really want to get into that bag. So I'm actually building out a separate channel, and it's already up, and I don't have any content on it. It's called Bank Notes, and that's where we talk about the money. Okay, we talk about ways to put money in your pocket. Okay, I'm not a financial guru, but I am definitely all for people having side hustles or passive income, just ways to kind of make money. So this idea spun a block on me last night, and I said, let me get on it. So the incentive is that when you join the membership, I will be giving you a complimentary 3 night stay in Las Vegas. Okay. You will get a complimentary 3 night stay in Las Vegas. And what does that mean? Well, that means I'm not going to use the word FREE because nothing in life is free. Whenever you do any kind of giveaway for a product or a service, if there's a value on it, taxes got to be paid. So things cannot be free because Uncle Sam wants to get paid. So taxes have to be paid. And in this particular giveaway to Las Vegas, they're hotel. These are hotel stays where you get a complimentary 3 night stay at a hotel in Las Vegas. Okay, and Las Vegas implemented something I don't know how long ago. If Vic to the Veil comes to the chat, she may be able to clue us in. But I know they started adding these resort fees. So basically, you have to pay the daily tax and the resort fees. So for the Vegas complimentary Vegas stay, it's roughly around $33 and some change. I think it's like 33.75. So if you decide to not only once you get access to the complimentary certificate, if you decide to activate it, you pay the taxes and resort fees up front, and that's all. So, what a room that would normally maybe cost you 75, 80, or even $150 a night is only going to cost you $33 per night. Now, if no one has ever heard of this, and this is not something that you're forced to do. I'm giving you this opportunity. So I want to make that very clear. This is not, it's an incentive. Okay. And it's up to you whether or not you want to take advantage of it. Okay. But if you're skeptical, a lot of people are like, oh, is that a scam? Do I have to do like a timeshare? No, this is just something I want to give people who are interested or maybe looking to go to Vegas within the next 18 months of activation. So that's the incentive. So just to let you know, when you gift memberships, those people who are gifted memberships, they will also get the complimentary a certificate. And the way that I am giving it to you, like cross country cruiser, what you'll need to go over to my Instagram, which is Black Auntie No Kids. Go over there, just message me. I just need your email, and of course, I know your YouTube handle. But as this keeps growing, I need your YouTube handle and your email where to send it. You have 7 days to activate it. At that time, you do pay all the fees, but you have up to 180 days to actually book your vacation. And the company that I'm working with, um, Legacy Moon, what do you mean by, hold on just a sec. What do you mean by make it iPhone friendly so you can join? If you click out of the chat, I have an iPhone, I was always curious. Excuse me. I was always curious as to, why people always say they had problems with iPhones. So I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll see if I can get the link and post it here. But if there's a way that I can actually make it, like you said, iPhone friendly, let me know in the chat. But back to the membership. There's, yeah, well, but don't you get to join? Don't you get the join icon when you go into the let me turn my volume down on my phone before I go into this and look. I thought that you still get the join. See, I don't fool. I have this iPhone and honestly it's been sitting collecting dust. I see what you're saying. I don't know why do they do that? That is weird to me. Let me see if I can go in and get that link and I'll get it posted and I'll pin it to the chat and so you can do that. Okay? Oh, so Lady T Bug, you're saying that people say with an iPhone you had to do it from a computer. I don't know if that's like some kind of a protection thing. It's weird. That's weird in the words of native. That is weird. So I usually stick to my Android. I need to get into this iPhone. I'm actually just keeping this iPhone. I'm gonna use it as a business phone. That's crazy. Let me see. Let me see if I can legacy. Let me see if I can figure out how to get the link. Hold on. Make sure my volumes are off because stuff just auto plays around here. So let me see if I can figure it out from my laptop. Bear with me. I would think that there were, I wonder, does the back office give it to you? Let me see. Do they give me a link? Hmm. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Duh. I should have guessed. Let me pin it. I don't know how anybody goes live from their phone and try to kind of maneuver around and serve the live appropriately. I am not at that level yet. And in general, I don't do a lot from my phone. To me, I use my phone for what is I play games on my phone and I may text some people, but I primarily talk on my phone. So it should be pinned. Let me know if you see the pin legacy. Okay. So I don't know where I left off at. So for those of you just now coming in, I don't think I missed anybody. But again, if you gift a membership, which is a thing, I'll make sure that I give them. They will also have the chance to take advantage of that free vacation certificate. So again, once what will happen is you just go to my Instagram, put in your YouTube handle and an email where I can send it. You click on the link and they will walk you through it. And this particular company that I'm using, I had worked with them probably gosh, was it 2014, 2015? So we're talking about oh gosh, almost 10 years ago. So they've been around for a while. And I've been a part of their Facebook group and they have a lot of support. So you guys should not have any trouble. Like again, there's no timeshare presentation required. Hey, obsessed with the mess. Hey, lady. There. In fact, you just reminded me obsessed with the mess. I wanted to make sure that my mods are taken care of. So if you are one of my mods, hey, let's talk about it. Obsessed with the mess. You don't have to become a member. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys one off the bat. So all you have to do is head over to my Instagram at Black Auntie No Kids over on Instagram, and just let me know who you are. Put in obsessed with the mess or hey, let's talk about it. Go ahead and do that. Any of my mods, go over there and give me your email, and I'll make sure you get one. Again, you're not under no obligation uh, to uh, to do it. But I just thought it was a nice perk. I think it's just something nice. And you have, like I said, a whole year and a half in Vegas. I went to Vegas back in May. I was going to the Lovers and Friends festival that got canceled. And let me just tell you, if you've never been to Vegas, they have a crap ton of hotels, and I think everybody knows that. But even outside of Vegas, they have other locations that they offer these. They have them worldwide, and the reason why that, or the reason why these offers are available. This is something that, like the Bass Pro Shop. I don't know. Do any of you guys have like Bass Pro Shops in your cities? And when you would go in there, if you've ever been in there, they'll have a booth where somebody is asking you to come and talk to them about travel, and you have to sit through the presentations, usually like a timeshare presentation, and then after you successfully say no to them like 100 times, they'll give you this certificate. That's basically what this is. They used to do them at our sporting events here, so that's what it is. This is what they call a lead generator. And for me, I'm using it as an incentive to say thank you to all the people who come in here into my chat and keep me company. Hey Latoy, I don't know, did you hear what I said before you came in? I've turned my memberships on, and one of the perks of the memberships is I'm giving away three a complimentary 3 night stay in Las Vegas, and I'm giving all my mods that. All you have to do is just head on over to my Instagram and leave your YouTube login, sorry, your name, Latoya Hogan, and your email so I can send it out to you. So that link that you'll be getting in your email, it's a seven. You have 7 days to activate. If you don't activate in 7 days, it does expire, but never fear. I am not that type of person. If it's something that later on you decide that it's something you want to do, just let me know, and I'll take care of you guys. So that is part of the channel updates. I will be doing some different things here because, like I said, primarily I've been doing the Nesto transcripts. I've been sprinkling in a little bit of Wade. I got some Sarah Boone. I got a little bit of. I'm just kind of trying some things like the body cam reactions, for example. Now that is something that I'm just testing out, kind of my flow, and I probably will move that off channel because if you're on the other side of the mic, if you are a consumer like I have been for many years here on YouTube, um, it's different when you get on this side of it. And early in the early days of YouTube, in the wild wild west of YouTube, you could have a channel about everything, everything. But now the way the algorithm works, they kind of want you to be a niche, in my opinion. They kind of want you to be a niche. Hey, the gold experience. Hey, thank you. Welcome. um, but anyway, they kind of want you to stick to one thing, and then when you don't do that, it confuses the algorithm. They don't know where to send you. So I'm just kind of testing these things out, but I don't want to get too crazy. I don't want to have like 50 different channels. I'm specifically looking at three at this point. This channel here, my business channel, Bank Notes, which I'll be talking more about, like I said, side hustles, ways to earn and have extra money in your pocket or your bank account. And the third one may be the ex lady cop, where I do body cam reactions because I love watching them as a civilian, but I also know what it's like on the other side of the fence. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. Now, side note, um, being ADD and being a creative, I've been playing around with some stuff, and we all know that Nesto is the story that keeps giving. And when I hang out in Legacy Moon's chat, uh, and when especially when her and Native are on, we get into this conversation about what we call the Nestoverse. And Lady Tiba, we kind of talk about, this alternate reality that Nesto and Sonya lives in. We talk about it often. I even did one of my last transcriptions with the thumbnail was Nestoville Population 2. It's like upside down world. It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense to those two. So, oh gosh, maybe about a month ago, I had a bright idea. I was playing around with my text to audio software, And so I thought tonight would be a good night to kind of show you guys what I came up with because I really don't have an agenda here tonight other than to roll out the memberships. And I do want to give away some of these Las Vegas trips. And by the way, Cancun is on the list. Okay, Cancun is there. So I didn't put that in the membership as a location because you know you need passports for that stuff, and that's a little longer stay. That's actually it's a 5 night stay, and it is at a hotel. It's not at a resort, so the same thing applies. But when I looked at what the nightly taxes and resort fees are coming in at, they're roughly the same as Vegas. In fact, Vegas and Cancun are really cheaper compared to like Miami or Orlando. So just to let you know, Cross Country Cruiser and Legacy Moon, and all my mods, if you are interested in the Cancun, I can give you links for both of those. Just let me know if you want both. Now you can only redeem one per, I believe, 18 months. So if you decide to activate it, you'll have to activate. You can't activate both of them. You will have to pick. So just let me know. Lady T Bug. I have a passport, unlike Diddy. I do too. And one thing I learned about the passport is that it can't have any kind of it has to be almost pristine and perfect. And I don't know what I did. In fact, let me go get it because I wanted to look at it. Hold on a second. Yeah, a couple of pages got folded. I don't know how they got folded, but I put it under a weight trying to straighten it out, make sure it looks like something. Because they say if your passport is not pristine, it can't have any stains or tears or nothing. They can deem it unacceptable. But I do know that they also have made it easier. I saw a story saying they're making it easier, or they have made it easier for you to renew your passport or to get a new one. It only took me about 4 weeks to get that one, and I got my stamp. Yay! Got my stamp. I got a stamp to Mexico and to Thailand. Hey, uniquely Sonya, how you doing? But yeah. So, oh, the gold experience. You're looking at Cancun for January. When I went to Cancun, I think we went in June. It was 2 years ago. Now, one place I haven't been is Jamaica. I'm ready for Jamaica. My friends and my sister, we were all talking. We were supposed to go to Jamaica last year, and that fell through. And I am still pissed about that. But next year, it looks like we're going to go to Jamaica because those type of trips, I don't mind going in groups. To be quite honest, I still have to have my own room. The Instagram is. Let me put it in the chat for you. It's Black Auntie No Kids. Okay. At least the last I checked, that's what it was. Let me know if you can't find it. Okay. But anyway, yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about Jamaica. So I'm ready to go. And I don't, like I said, I don't mind going in a group. I just got to have my own room no matter where I go. I just want my own room. But me traveling international, people thought I was crazy. They thought I was nuts for going to Thailand. Even my mother was telling me I couldn't go. She told me I could not go. And for me, I didn't really share it with her, but it was a very important thing that I wanted to do for myself. I wanted to celebrate my 52nd birthday in Thailand, and I was doing it for me. I lost my father about 30 years ago. He died at 52. And for me, it was kind of like, I don't know, it was something I don't know how to explain it. It was just something that I wanted to do. And I wanted to kind of take his spirit with me because he was the one that kind of inspired my desire to want to see more of the world. We were an average middle class family. We did not do the yearly family vacations. We were lucky if we got to go anywhere. Money was tight. It was a lot of us. It was I have three older siblings and plus an aunt lived with us. So things were tight. So I would dream and I would travel through National Geographic because he always maintained a subscription to National Geographic. So I went over to Thailand And I'm like, listen, I was in my early 20s. Actually, I was 22, 23 when I hopped on a value jet flight to Atlanta. I went down to Atlanta by myself because nobody else wanted to go. And I'm like, I'm not waiting for you all. I'm just going to book me a flight and I'm going. So I've always had that solo travel gene in me. But yeah, yeah. So I want to get back to whose comment was that? I don't like the comments in StreamYard. I'm so used to reading the comments, through the lens of YouTube. But this is the nature of the beast. I can't even remember. I should have starred that content because I don't. I'm sorry, comment because I don't see it anymore. I don't know. Do these comments disappear? I think Legacy Moon and I think you've intimated that it seems like that the comments would disappear. Hey, Vicky. Yeah, Vicky, go to bed. And this is what this will be early for you, wouldn't it? I was just telling them, I know obviously you just popped in, but part of my membership because I turn memberships on, but part of the membership is that I'm giving away a complimentary 3 nights stay in Las Vegas, and I was talking about the resort fees, which I think is crazy because the resort fee basically pays for the mic. Well, they don't give you a microwave. I guess it's the coffee maker and the Wi-Fi and maybe the towels. I don't see any perk in having quote unquote resort fees, but maybe if you could, the next time you come in, Vicky, and we could talk about that craziness. But yeah. So back to what I was saying before I got off track and started talking about the passport thing is that I had been playing around with my software and Nesto is obsessed with AI, right? And he's also obsessed with telling his story. So with like I said, with Legacy Moon and Native, and Native was always talking about the Nesto verse. I'm like, you know what? Um, I'm pretty good at, or I've got it somewhat figured out this AI, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of create the Nesto verse with you guys. And what I mean is basically crowdsourcing. And let's talk about Nestoverse. Let's set up the rules to Nestoverse with the help of AI, his favorite partner in crime. Because I say that because AI is clearly helping him write a lot of these text messages that I've transcribed. And then I realized, you know what, you were working on a project, you had did something, you had did a short where I kind of did like a, a prologue to a story based off of Nesto's life. So I kind of fleshed it out using. I didn't use Chat GPT. I used Gemini, and if you never heard of it, excuse me, Gemini is a Google product, and I like it way. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I like it way better than Chat GPT. So I'm going to show you what I came up. I'm going to let you guys going to hear it first. What I was, now this is just something I was playing around with. So humor me. Okay. So listen to this. Okay. So right now you guys can see you can see the cover. This is an AI picture. I didn't put in the prompt for it. Now, if you're not familiar, whenever you're doing pictures and photos and stuff like that, you have to do something called prompting. Or even if you want AI to help you create any kind of like anything. If you want them to write you a resume, write a greeting, whatever, it's called prompting. You give it a direction, and it tries to fulfill whatever you want. So when it comes to photos, you have to do what's called prompting. You have to write a prompt. And I was able to get on a site that generously shares a lot of stuff that these, I guess you can call them the new age artists, have created. So I created a little um I guess you want to call a little, I don't know if I want to call it a parody, but a Nesto inspired story. Instead of the character being Nesto, he's called Tone. and it's I'm a simple man, Tone. And yeah, he's a handsome guy. Nesto probably that this is what Nesto probably thinks he looks like. And maybe this is what Sonya thinks he looks like. So what I did was I wrote I kind of with the help of AI. I can't take credit. Now talented people like Native could have probably written something like this. So I take no credit for it other than kind of signaling and giving AI the prompt to write this. So let me know if you can hear it. If you can't hear it, of course, I'm looking at the chat and let me know. I'm getting ready to hit play now. So let me know if you can hear it.
Chapter 1. The cool, sterile air of the jewelry store enveloped Tone, a stark contrast to the adrenaline rush coursing through his veins. The velvet box, a small, insignificant object in the grand scheme of things, felt heavier than a king's ransom. Inside, the diamond butterfly bracelet, a masterpiece of cold, hard desire, pulsed with the promise of a quiet night and a complacent wife. He slipped the box into his jacket pocket, a familiar ritual, a comforting touchstone. The world outside was a blur of glass and chrome, reflecting his own gilded image. He was a king, a conqueror, and the city was his kingdom. The grand foyer of Tone and Sheila's modest five-bedroom mini-mansion was a carefully curated illusion of success. Marble floors gleamed under the soft glow of modern chandeliers, a testament to their shared desire for more. Yet behind the facade of domestic bliss, Tone operated in a world of shadows. He tossed his car keys onto the sleek, minimalist console table, a mundane act that belied the thrill of his latest conquest. The house was eerily quiet. Sheila, oblivious to the underbelly of their lifestyle, was out, her absence a brief respite from the intricate web of lies he'd woven around her. The diamond butterfly bracelet, a tangible symbol of his deception, burned a hole in his pocket. It was a gift, a bribe, a weapon, and he couldn't wait to wield it. Tone moved through the house with a predatory grace, a silent shadow in the twilight of the day. The grand living room, with its floor-to-ceiling windows offering a panoramic view of the city, was bathed in the golden hues of the setting sun. It was a stage set for a life he'd carefully constructed, a life that was as fragile as it was opulent. He paused at the entrance to their bedroom, the heart of their domestic facade. The room was a sanctuary of soft colors and plush textures, a place where Sheila retreated to escape the demands of their carefully curated public image. Tone knew she was a prisoner of her own ambition, as trapped as he was in the gilded cage of their lifestyle. He reached into his jacket pocket, the velvet box cool against his palm. A surge of anticipation coursed through him. It was time to drop the next piece on the chessboard of their lives. With a practiced ease, Tone opened the bedroom door. The room was bathed in the soft glow of bedside lamps, casting long shadows that danced on the walls. Sheila was curled up on the bed, a novel open on her chest. Tone knelt beside the bed, his heart pounding with a mix of anticipation and trepidation. Sheila, her eyes wide with surprise, looked down at the velvet box. Her expression was a complex interplay of curiosity and skepticism. At 65, she was still a striking woman, her beauty honed by years of careful cultivation.
Tone, darling, you're home early?
She said, her voice laced with a hint of surprise. Tone smiled, a practiced mask of affection. I had some extra time, he replied, his voice low and seductive. He gently took her hand, his touch of familiar comfort. I have something for you, he said, his voice filled with a promise of indulgence. He opened the velvet box, revealing the dazzling diamond butterfly bracelet. Sunlight from the bedroom window caught the diamonds, casting them in a fiery brilliance. Sheila's eyes widened as she took in the breathtaking piece of jewelry. Her gaze shifted from the bracelet to Tone, a mixture of surprise and delight in her expression.
Tone, this is absolutely stunning.
She breathed, her voice filled with genuine admiration. Tone's heart swelled with a mixture of pride and satisfaction. He'd done it again. Another jewel in his crown, another piece of their carefully constructed reality. He reached out and gently took her hand, his touch possessive yet tender. I wanted to give you something special, he said, his voice low and intimate. You deserve the world. Sheila's hand trembled slightly as she reached out to touch the diamond butterfly. Her eyes, filled with a mix of awe and longing, reflected the brilliance of the stones. As Sheila's fingers grazed the cool, hard surface of the diamond, Tone felt a surge of satisfaction. He'd done it again. Another conquest, another piece of the puzzle falling into place. The woman he carefully cultivated, the woman who believed she was living the high life, was exactly where he wanted her.
It's perfect.
Sheila breathed, her voice filled with a mixture of awe and desire. She turned her hand, admiring the bracelet from different angles.
How did you know I wanted something like this?
Tone smiled, his eyes gleaming with a mixture of triumph and deception. I know you, Sheila. Better than anyone, he said, his voice low and intimate. He leaned in, his breath warm against her ear. This is just a small token of my love. His words were a lie, a carefully crafted deception, but they were the words she wanted to hear. And for now, that was all that mattered. His tones passed. The Texas heat pressed down on the small town like a suffocating blanket. For Tone, a teenager in the early 70s, it was a world both familiar and suffocating. The town, a speck on the map outside Houston, offered little more than endless cotton fields, a high school football field, and the promise of a life that looked suspiciously like his parents. His father, a charismatic man with a robust charm, worked in the oil fields, a cycle of labor that promised little reward. Yet, beneath the rough exterior lurked a restlessness, a desire for something more that often led him astray. His mother, a woman of quiet strength, managed the household with a resilience that belied her weariness. Their love for each other was deep, but their relationship was a tempestuous sea, marked by separations and reconciliations. The specter of his father's infidelities and the subsequent instability of their home cast a long shadow over Tone's childhood. It was a world of contradictions, a place where the promise of the American dream collided with the harsh realities of life. For Tone, it was a cage, and he yearned for the day he could break free. Present day. Tone watched Sheila's face as she admired the bracelet, a flicker of recognition passing through his eyes. It had been years since he felt this sense of power, of control. A memory surfaced, a stark contrast to the opulence of his present life. He recalled a time when his mother had received a cheap, imitation jewelry set for her birthday. It was a hollow victory for his father, a feeble attempt to make amends for his absences. The disappointment in her eyes had been a stark contrast to the forced smile on her face. It was in that moment that Tone had realized the power of material possessions, the way they could be used to manipulate and control. He shook his head, bringing himself back to the present. The diamond bracelet was more than just a gift, it was a weapon, a tool to keep Sheila under his spell. And as he looked at her, he knew he was winning. As Sheila's fingers continued to trace the intricate design of the bracelet, Tone's phone vibrated on the nightstand. A chill ran down his spine as he glanced at the caller ID. The number was unfamiliar, but the area code was one he recognized. His heart pounded in his chest as he excused himself, stepping into the hallway. Hello, he answered, his voice low and controlled, masking the panic rising within him. A woman's voice, sharp and demanding, cut through the line.
Tone, where the hell is my money? I want it now.
Her voice was laced with a dangerous edge, a threat hanging in the air. Tone's mind raced. He had to play this cool. Calm down, sweetheart, he said, his voice dripping with false reassurance. Everything's under control. You'll have your money. But the woman wasn't buying it.
Don't play games with me, Tone. I know where you live. I know where your wife works. I know everything.
Her voice was a chilling promise. Tone's blood ran cold. He was in deep trouble. Chapter 1. The cool, sterile air of the jewelry store enveloped Tone, a stark contrast to the adrenaline rush coursing through his veins.
Okay, so there you go. For you, those of you coming in late, succeeding in Lady Leo, sorry, Leo lady. I don't know where I got Lady Leo. Hey, my sister sign. That was just something that I had made up or with the help of AI. Like I said, Nesto's partner in crime. And I was just playing around with it because this is the power of AI. This is the power. And so that's, I just wanted to kind of play that for you guys to see what can be done, not just with text to voice, not just with pictures. AI is out here writing stories. I just gave it direction. And so that's why I had mentioned earlier that I would love to crowdsource and do some world building with you guys because we know this story. We are part of the story. Nesto has made us, the people here with me in this chat, and the people, in on YouTube, the content creators, and everybody that has an opinion about this story. He has made us a part of his story. And a lot of us, we know what's going on. And there's some people out here playing catch up. I know I am in Phone Calls from Prison's Patreon, and what's happening is there's some crossover with the Wade Wilson fans. Some of them are asking, like, hey, what's going on with this whole Nesto thing? Where can I get started? Where can I start listening to this? Because once you start on this journey of listening to these jailhouse calls and visits and texts, when the well is turned off, when phone calls from prison doesn't have, your drug of choice, you're looking for a fix almost. So they're now wanting to know more about what's going on, and they've been pointed in the right direction. Of course, listening to the playlist and all the content creators out there, giving it voice, keeping it relevant. And then, of course, we know with the whole gag order thing, that he's really, or they really kind of put us out there. So we understand the rules of the Nesto world, right? Succeeding. Yes, yes. Let me highlight this comment because it's true. I've learned more in 30 days about prison life than I've known in my that than I knew in my entire life. And also too, if you've been from the beginning or somewhat the beginning, you kind of know the chronology of the story. You kind of know where the pieces are, or how to put the pieces together. But we've also gotten a lot of insight into the mind of Nesto and then into the mind of Sonya. To answer your question, Legacy Moon, the software is called PlayHT. Is that what you're talking about? The text, the voice to text? Or are you talking about the AI software? Because the AI that helped me write this is Gemini. It's a part of the Google family. It's part of their platform. It's free to use. To me, I like it better than Chat GPT. I was an early adapter to Chat GPT. I started playing around with it early, but then Google rolled out Gemini, and I really like it. And once you start playing around with it, you'll see that it has many applications beyond what I'm doing, and the capabilities are excellent. But so that's what I want to do. I want to create the Nesto universe where we create is world building. If you are into I'm a heavy reader, and I like to read my jam of course is romance novel, and some of the novels that I was reading, they do world building. They create a world. It's basically like Harry Potter, or Lord of the Rings. You kind of build out this world, and where you make these rules, and that's basically what Saya and Nesto has done. I mean, that's what they were doing separately. Now they've come together. They're actually creating this weird space that everybody is kind of, we have a front row seat to, and we kind of know what the rules are. And the best place to, for me, in my opinion, is starting with the dictionary. Now, I know people have talked about it, and I know other content creators have talked about it, but nobody's created the dictionary. And so usually when there's world building, that's where it starts. It starts with, let's talk about the languages. Let's talk about the vernacular. Let's talk about what they're saying. Oh, so you're interested in the graphics? Oh, where I got the graphics at, it's called Lexica. I'm gonna put it in the name. It's Lexica. I believe that's how it's spelled, Legacy. I believe that's how it's spelled. In fact, I can, hell, I can go look it up right now because it's saved in my tab. Yeah, it's lexica.art. Lexica.art. And they have all kinds. It's like one big bank of photos. And you just prompted, you just put in, like, I think for this one, I said an older black male with gray hair. And it'll come up with thousands and thousands of pictures. And these are things that other people have generated through prompting. But anyway, so I could try to do it on my own, but I think the people who hang out in these chats, you guys could be a lot of help. So maybe I'll create a night where we come together and we'll get the dictionary together and we'll start building out the rules of this world because Nesto's trying to write a book. We could help him, I guess. He wanted a future book as a native was questioning what the heck is a future book. So this is something we can do together. I would not mind you guys' input, and we can kind of do it as we go. I mean, literally, if I'm on live, we can kind of start building it out. I can take some of the ideas, put them in the magic machine, and spit it out and see what happens. I think that'll be fun, honestly. Hey, Chick-fil-A gal. You might want to run it back, but I have a free gift for you. I just need for you to send head over to my Instagram, which is Black Auntie No Kids, and leave your email so I can get it to you. It's a complimentary 3 night stay in Las Vegas. It's something that I've added to my membership. I have memberships now, so that's something that when you become a member, you automatically are eligible to receive. All you'd have to do is let me know. But for my mods specifically, I'm giving you guys that because I've modded for over 4 years, and I do it at my own pleasure. I don't ask for anything in return. I don't mind doing it for the people that I do mod for, but it's my way, especially being a small channel and being new, to say thank you to you guys because I kind of threw a wrench at some of you. I didn't even ask you, I just gave you a wrench. Yeah, so there are some conditions that apply. Like I said, if you run it back, I kind of went through those, but yeah, that's something that you definitely earned, and I just want to make sure that I treat you guys well. I treat you guys well. So tell me, what do you guys think about the whole idea of building out the Nestoverse and getting that together, just having some fun? This is just all fun. We can create a story, or we can, the neat thing about it, we could take something that's happening at a moment in time. We could have took the whole gag order thingamajig, and we could have rewritten that into some kind of little corny, uh, humorous story. Because to me, this is to the point of comedy. I know there's real people's lives at stake. I know Nesto's freedom is at stake, and he's just now taking an interest in taking it serious, and he don't know what's going on. He has no clue, none whatsoever, and I find it very interesting um, that he's still. Let's just put it this way: I'll be interested to see what the next dump of text messages say if we get them. Side note, if you are following Wade Wilson or you know anything about Wade Wilson, there's one of his Wade wives. Her name is Jessie, I believe. And she kind of reminds me of Sonya 2.0, or Sonya's cousin, because she's a Caucasian woman. She is suing Lee County down there in Florida to stop the release of the phone calls. So she's trying to shut phone calls from prison down. Okay. And basically it's kind of like signing this gag order. She's mad. Oh, succeeded, it was denied that quick. Okay, well that's good to hear. I knew it would be because it's very clear. It's very clear that when you are on these recorded lines that they are available for public consumption. And I knew it would be denied. I just didn't know that it was moving that fast. But yeah, she tried to shut it down. So there's a couple of things that I would love to do with you guys. So one, you guys get to see the creative side of me, and I can, be more present on my channel and not just be, behind the scenes doing these transcripts. Like again, what I love doing them. And it's like I feel like if I'm not putting something up on the channel, not just for you guys, but it does something for me outside of that whole AdSense thing and the money part of it. Because let me tell you, it's a trap, and that's the trap that I do not want to fall in. And I found myself early on in this game falling into chasing the algorithm, chasing the numbers, and all that good stuff. And YouTube wants it that way. Google wants it that way. It's more money for them. It gives them more inventory to sell. But I promised myself a long time ago that I was going to create other streams of income, which is something I'm working on. And my focus is on doing the kind of content that I want to do on this channel and the kind of content that the people who have subscribed and watched my videos want to see. Chick-fil-A girl, she's inserted herself. Should have stayed off the podcast and the lies. Yeah. I have not really been up to speed on Wade, just kind of peripherally. I'm actually waiting for the text messages to come out because honestly, I learned a lot more even about Nesto through the text messaging to me than the phone calls. But a part of me is scared because Wade is wilding on some of those calls. I can only imagine what he sounds like in those text messages. So let me see. Uh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Cross Country Cruiser. I'm so proud of you. I've been waiting to join your channel. Thank you. Yeah, you were. I remember early on you commented when I first started dropping the videos. So, Cross Country Cruiser, are you a cruiser? Are you big on cruising? Because that's something I have never. I've never been on a cruise. I have a bucket list of things that I want to do, and being getting on a cruise ship is one of them. I at least want to do it. I've been looking at some solo cruises because I can't be on everybody else's schedule. PW says Wade probably spells correctly too. He probably does. He probably does. Let me tell you, those I've said it before. Transcribing some of those texts, it's gotten easier. Let me tell you, after I did Tashima, everything seemed easy after that. But I've gotten more familiar with the software, and actually, I'm working on a project right now, kind of going through the ones that I've already transcribed. And since the divorce hearing is coming up Wednesday, I'm trying to get aggregate just him isolate just his and Shirley's conversation during a specific time period because during his texting with Shirley, he was texting Sonya. So there was a lot of overlap, but there's a lot of BS in there too that I wanted to break down. So I was working on that earlier today before I got sidetracked on setting up the members live. But I'm also looking into the YSL because I just never, honestly, it didn't pique my interest until as some folks call her, Angelica, started her mess. I just kind of wasn't interested. So to be quite honest, I knew what they were being charged with a RICO, but I never really knew the details, and I wasn't interested in going through Sylvia's catalog to try to figure it out. So I would rather do my own. So I figured what better way to do that than to read the indictment itself. So I'm starting actually to take the indictment from text and put it into audio because it's like 88 pages long. What are you saying, succeeding? Let's see here. You saying you better stop, bank. You better go because my first cruise in my 20s was by myself because two of my friends and cousins all canceled on you. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm at the point now I'm not asking for permission. I have one girlfriend and we've known each other for over 20 years and we think alike. We are really good travel companions. I love going with her. We think alike. So let's see here. Legacy Moon says, I couldn't even listen to those Patreon Wade calls. I couldn't either, sis. I couldn't either. They're cringy. I actually like the what some of the people who follow this they think those calls that he has with Jesse are boring. I like those calls, especially I guess are they trying to figure out how to fraud the folks? I believe allegedly, right? In Harmon allegedly trying to fraud those folks out of their money. So succeeding, what's up with that? I heard that I guess did they pull the Fundleys and the GoFundMe down? I believe that's something that they've done. I believe that's amazing. Oh, the Golden Experience. I know you said you had put something in the chat. Was it about wanting to go to Vegas? I believe that's what you said. Oh, you said succeeding. You said that Jesse is a said Jesse boring. She's an idiot. But that other stuff though, all that screeching that what's her name, Kirsten or whatever her name, all that screeching that she does, it gets to be a much. It gets to be much for me. Yeah. So yeah, I do want to go on the cruise. And honestly, my sister, for she went. I don't know. I think it's coming up on 2 years. She went on her birthday, and her birthday is in December. She did the Virgin Solo cruise and she really enjoyed it. It's adults only. So I have been eyeballing that. I just don't know when is the best time to go cruising. I know there's the hurricane season. I guess Lady T Bug would be the one I need to talk to about that. When is the best time to hit the waters? And yeah, Chick-fil-A girl, my sister said that she, struck up some conversations with some people on the boat. She really enjoyed herself. And I'm a loner. I didn't realize that. Well, I got to be a loner, I think, when I probably got really close to my 40s. My dad was like that. Now I used to wonder, like, why don't he ever like hang out with the fellas, go out with the guys and do all that stuff? My dad was a homebody, and so am I. I am just like him. But I do like people. It's weird. It's like I'm not an introvert per se, but I like spending time to myself, but I like talking to people. I really do, and I'm really surprised it's taken me this long to really get on the live and chop it up with you guys because I listen, I can talk forever. That was my claim to fame. I'll never forget this guy. I was probably in my 20s, and he comes up to me and he says, Bank, he says, you know what? You talk a lot. I said, yeah, I know. He said, but no, he said, but really, he says, you talk a lot. He says, but at least you have something to say. I said, I said, well, thank you. I take the compliments where I can get them at this point in my life. But truly, I can go on. I can keep going for real, for real. Okay, so Legacy Moon, you're saying I think they took the funding down, but it's back up again. I don't know what that's all about. That sounds shady to me. That really do. It sounds like they're trying to finesse folks. But you know what they say: a fool and his money shall soon part. So I ain't giving them nothing. But Sonya could have took lesson from these Wade wives and succeeding. You said I usually do November 1st, of course, the spring, but it depends on where you're going. Okay, so November after November, around that time, the holiday time. Listen, I don't know if you guys if I mentioned this in my last live or any panels that I was on, and it's a real thing. And I've been telling folks in my sphere, my family, and my friends, and they know once I say I'm going to do something, it's going to happen. My ultimate goal is this time next year to be in Thailand again, and not just on vacation, but spending a significant amount of time there. So I'm looking to to relocate. I wouldn't say expatriate, but I am definitely looking to locate, even if it is for a little bit of time of the year. But yeah, so like I really don't have an agenda for this live. The only other thing that I do want to do, if you guys stick around, because we're already over an hour, and I don't know how much longer that this will go or how much longer you guys can hang in. Honestly, like I said, I can talk to myself to be quite honest. So if you can't stick around, that's perfectly fine. I won't take offense to that because we all have lives, we all got things to do, and it's getting late. It's almost 11:30. But one thing that I did want to do tonight, I did want to do because I have been, like I said, I've been trying to plan out content moving forward, and um, I wanted to really explore doing the body cam videos, not just because I find them entertaining, but because I used to be a cop, and my last paychecked black job was in law enforcement. I was a police dispatcher, 911 call taker. So I still had my foot in the game. So I kind of look at it from that standpoint, mainly from a law enforcement standpoint, or having to have put hands on people. So if you watch my reaction video, I think I communicated that. But again, I did that reaction video, recorded, and I really could not bounce off of anybody. I really couldn't kind of get into a rhythm or a groove with that. So if you guys don't mind hanging out with me, I want to do a live reaction with you guys uh, with the body cam videos. And I've been watching quite a few of them, and I bookmarked some of them, and one really kind of popped out at me, and I'm like, this one's a good one. This would be a really good one to do, um, in a live chat. So we can do that. Let me let me go here. You take down all this stuff, and I can fire that up. But let me look at your comments before I do that. Would you be interested in being an auditor like the Tyrant Terminator or LIA? What is that? I don't know. Am I missing something? Succeed and let me know. And Cross Country Cruiser says I go to sleep, wake up, and watch body cam all night. Yeah, it's something else. Times have changed. Times have really changed. So there was one. I like I said, I have basically I created a playlist, and this one that I'm getting ready to bring up is one that really kind of it piqued my interest from an entertainment standpoint and also from an ex cop standpoint. So I'm just gonna roll on into it. Like, so you did some body cam? Yeah, you have. I think you do just about everything. You are a jack of all trades and the master of none. Which is, that's fun. You don't have to have a police background because for me, I am more of a civilian. I've been a human being, a civilian longer than I ever, was a cop. My stint as a cop lasted 3 years, and I was like deuces. And it wasn't for fear or anything like that. It just wasn't my ministry. It wasn't my calling. So the other day, I was watching YouTube, and this is let me share my screen with you guys. Get this one up here. And this video was recommended to me. It's probably going to start playing. I don't want it to start playing. Let me get it to stop. Okay, skip. Come on. Don't play. Don't play with me now. Not ready. Okay, I think we're good. I hate that. The way my screen. I use the what is that? The Edge browser, and it kind of goes to sleep and then it resets. Hey, Sanders RN, you came just in time. Remember we talked a little bit earlier. I think it was over in Legacy's chat, and I said I may come on and do a body cam reaction. Well, there you go. And make sure you replay the live because I have some good news, some interesting stuff going on with the channel, and I think you might like it. So please make sure you rewind it back when you get time and look at it. So what are you saying succeeding? I watch the auditors that protect our First Amendment. Oh, they go to the police station. They've been indicted. Oh, okay. I got it now. I got it. Locally here in my city, they have they call them basically a citizens review panel, and I would have loved to have been a part of that. But one of the stipulations was that you could not have held a job. I could not have worked for the city that I am currently in, so I couldn't put my resume in for that. But I would love to have done something like that. Hey, Jackson Tabasco. Hey, lady. You seen this one already? Across country cruiser. It wasn't it a doozy. Yeah, I do. I enjoy the eviction videos too. You learn a lot. You learn a lot from behind the scenes. Not everything is cut and dry. Not everything is as simple as it looks. We hear about them, but to actually see them up close and personal, it's a whole nother thing. And now this video I have queued up is called "Woman Calls 911." Where's my title? I changed my screen. Okay, woman calls 911, doesn't get her way, kicks police deputy in the face. Yes. So, now just to kind of give you some background information on me, yes, I was in law enforcement. So when I was in law enforcement, body cams did not exist. The closest we got to the body cams were the in-car cameras, and half the time they did not work. But we were required to have our in-car camera on, and it would automatically come on when you turned on your lights and sirens, and they would be reviewed by management, meaning your sergeant or your lieutenant, and they would critique if they wanted to during the auditing portion, critique your performance. But it was also something to be used in events where there was something further that needed to be addressed, whether it was police an actual action that you took as a police officer involving a citizen that may have ended badly or poorly, or they filed a complaint on you, or for a court case. So that's the closest that I've come personally with the body cam. But the last department that I worked with, they were using the body cam footage, and so I'm familiar with how they log it and all that good stuff. And to be quite honest, I could go to that department I work for and the one that I actually was sworn as an officer. I know pretty much how to get body cam footage. It's been something I've been thinking about. I do have quite a few friends that are retired because all you have to do is 25 years as a police officer. As long as you meet the age of retirement, which I believe is still 52, you can retire early. So I thought it'd be interesting. I'm thinking about reaching out to a couple of them and seeing if they would like to kind of, develop out my ex lady cop channel that I possibly will be doing, and we can kind of do body cam videos together because they can give. I'm just giving my perspective from when I was a cop and as a dispatcher versus they stayed on and they did their 25 years and they have a world of experience. So let me see. Hey, 3 minutes, M8 peeps, Sonya's freaks. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So this setup is, again, she called the police because she's saying that her son basically was kidnapped, and I'll let the video play, and you guys tell me what you think. Side note: I want to give credit to the channel that posted this video. This was posted by Body Cam Watch. So let's go ahead and get started.
Are you asking me questions or is he?
Okay, so now YouTube wants to act up.
The last thing I need is all fucking.
See, I think it's a StreamYard thing with these delays on these videos. Hopefully, we can get through it without all these pauses.
What's going on?
What's going on? Talk to me. Jeff, sir.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, everyone.
Calm down.
Fuck.
Make it worse.
I'm not trying to. This is
Now,
fucked up. I talked.
now, guys, I have watched other content creators, and I guess this might be a StreamYard thing. Let's see how this goes because I I don't have much open to for this to be doing all of this, but um, apparently this is what StreamYard wants to do tonight. It wants to lag and drag the videos. And I think I mentioned this before. StreamYard really was set up as a webinar software, but I really think they should be well aware that content creators are using it various different ways, and they need to figure this mess out. This is ridiculous. So bear with me. It's not me. I'm about 100% sure this is all you. Sorry, StreamYard.
Talk to you under your eyelashes. You're fucked up. 2 days ago, I fucked her. 2 days ago. I don't know.
Work 2 days ago.
Well, I'm stopping.
This is crazy.
I'm gonna go in my. And I'm gonna change. Yeah, I talked to you.
I don't know you. I've never spoken to you before.
2 days ago. I can pull up my fucking
We're not
computer.
working.
Well, I can show you 2 days ago, but she was not, but she's the one that responded.
I did not respond, ma'am. I've never been here.
I can promise you, she wasn't there 2 days ago.
There. I wasn't.
I don't.
Sounds
I don't.
a liar. She might forget. It's okay. I'm not listen, it's okay. But I don't need this shit right now. I am. For a reason.
What is your name?
Hold on.
When was the last time we were actually out here?
I don't think there's any.
Check on too.
12:05. Reference this call. Can you pull up the last time we were out here?
Sure.
Do you need another eye to open up so you can see?
Should you,
Yeah, I'm
should you be
trying.
wearing some special stuff?
No, I need some more because I'm hurt.
Should you be wearing the?
We're done. You guys can go. I'll call the police. I don't want you.
I think this is this.
I'm listening.
Yeah.
Push the little button. I talked to you 2 days ago.
No, ma'am, you did
I
not.
told you everything that I needed help with.
No, ma'am, you
did
did
not
not.
help me with it. What? Even worse.
If you want to tell me what you need help with,
Oh no!
Come on, come on,
Please
come on,
don't.
come on, come
No,
on, come on.
no, stop me!
Okay.
Don't start the surgery, please.
Okay, let's talk.
Please.
Let's talk.
Please.
Let's talk.
Okay,
Don't
we can
start.
talk.
Let's just not
But don't
play
touch
games.
me.
Over and over again.
Don't touch me.
Okay?
Please don't touch
You're
me.
not gonna run back in the house and slam the door and over again. Your dogs are already outside.
You don't have to fucking push me like that again. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
I just
You're
had
clearly going through some sort of distress here.
Yeah,
So
I am. I just had a fucking surgery. I have not seen my son in a fucking month.
Why haven't you seen your child?
I'm dealing with my fucking attorney. It has nothing to do with that. But
So
don't
it's a child.
ever fucking touch me again. Get the fuck away from me. And you too. I just can't deal with this. I can't. You're an
I'm sorry, I had my mic on mute. I'm pausing it right here because I'm not going to call it PTSD, but when I see stuff like this, it just reminds me of those days. At this point, as a cop, now it looks like they have a history of coming to this address, so they already know what they're getting. She's clearly under the influence of something, or let me just say, allegedly under the influence of something. This is not mental health. This is somebody who's indulged in her feelings, because I do believe it's quite evident, if you picked up on it, or if not, it will become very clear that she doesn't have custody of her child, and she's self-medicating, and there could be some other things going on, but I'm really sick of her holding this boob. And I know this has popped up on some of the comments from one of my other reactions. Um, Chick-fil-A gal, she kind of put it in the chat. She said, "Meth Karen privileged at its finest." Exactly. We all know how this would go down if she wasn't, of the Caucasian persuasion. At least in my opinion. But then again, times have changed, especially with these body cams. They give these people a lot of leeway. So I'm hoping to mix it up and show where that's not the case. And of course, we know with actually headline cases that body cams are now, some departments, they don't care. Now I was in an urban city. We were very busy, and we would have low tolerance. At least I know I would have a low tolerance for this Karen. And for me, they are not taking control of the situation. Her walking back and forth, going to the door. That's the way I was trained. Again, it was back in the early 2000s, but safety was number one. And one of the first things I learned, yeah, I know Nurse Sanders, that she had surgery, but she's using it as an excuse. Ain't nothing wrong with that damn boob. She's just using that as an excuse. It's the woe it's me, it's the Karen in her. Ain't nothing wrong with that damn boob. It's just an excuse. Okay? That's my opinion, in my opinion. But anyway, we were trained for safety. We weren't worried about body cams because we didn't have them. And even when I was in law enforcement, we didn't even have tasers. We just had a nightstick. Okay, that was on our gun belt. It was a nightstick and not a taser. But controlling the scene was very important. All this walking back and forth and all this. Now, they have implemented the soft skills, basically talking more, because we didn't talk a lot. We didn't talk a lot. We weren't, that came a little later on. because we started to have to deal with mental health issues a lot, and we had a situation in our city that really it made national news even early on, and our department knew it had to change. We had to figure out a way to deal with the mental health issues that a lot of the people that were calling for assistance. And I'm more than willing to share stories with you guys, because even though I was on for 3 years, I have a ton of stories I can tell you about in different situations. But that whole grabbing the boob and all this ouch and ooh, that is a way for her. She is trying to control them, and you'll clearly see this. So hopefully it won't keep spinning. But I don't have tolerance for this. I don't have patience for this. I don't have patience for all this walking around. She would have been told to sit her tail down somewhere. I don't care if it was sitting in the grass. Sit down and tell me what's going on. If you don't need us, then we're leaving. But if we come back, you're going to jail. I have, like I said, I have more leeway. I don't know what their policies are for their department, so I get it, because if the body cam was reviewed and they quote unquote violated some kind of procedure, it's like the big eye in the sky, big brother on your chest. Whereas, and I'm not saying that I did anything dirty, or even the cops that I was around did anything dirty, but they're held to a different standard now. The ability, and this is not about being on the cop side. I'm just talking about this specific situation that we're looking at right now. This specific situation, some control has to be taken, or things get out of control and cops get kicked in the face.
You're not invited. I already have everything. No, it's not funny.
The last time we were out here was April, ma'am.
It's okay. That's fine. I don't call citizen. I just need to, like, I'm not.
What medications do you take?
I don't.
You
I'm
don't?
dealing with my son.
Have you ever taken medication?
I have not seen my son in a month. Okay.
Have you been drinking today?
No, not at all. I'm fucking working. I'm dealing with fucking work. I'm dealing with my fucking son. My son's dad will not even give him a fucking phone. He came back to his house so I can call him.
How old is your son?
He's 15.
Okay. Okay.
I know you're asking. It's okay. I wasn't trying to.
Okay.
I can't.
So you're trying
It's
to-
because my son is kidnapped. Okay? I have not seen my son in a month. Okay.
I'm just trying to understand what's
That's
going
fine.
on.
That's fine.
Okay. Who kidnapped your son?
My ex-husband. His name is Clay Butler. Clay, ClayButler.
Okay.
He
And
does this all the
where
time.
is he now?
In Orlando.
Okay. And why are you saying that he's been kidnapped? Do you guys have like a court agreement or?
Well,
A minute ago, you were saying that you were dealing with the court process. Is that like he
I
has
have a
the
question.
trial waiting for that?
are you asking me questions or is he now?
We're-
Because for 1 second,
Okay.
I'm going to stop and I'm going to get a
I'll wait
recording.
over here.
Hold on.
Do not.
Oh, no, don't
Okay.
push me that hard.
Do
I
not.
want to get a recording. Don't
You have to
ever
record.
fucking touch.
You know what? Listen, I keep putting this darn mic on mute because I don't want you all hearing me drinking my water. I'm just gonna leave it off. I was just talking and y'all didn't hear anything. And basically, what I was saying is that they switched off. In policing, you really only want to have one person talking to the subject, and the other people are there just to back you up. Basically, that's all I was saying. And now they've switched places. The female officer is now going to be the point of contact. She's standing in front of the door because they don't want her going back into the house at this point. So, is this for the better? I've already seen this, and Cross Country Cruiser has seen this. So, I don't think any of you guys will be surprised when I say it. It doesn't get better. Jackson Tabasco, you said you don't mind any slurping. No, I'm not slurping. It's just the I have ice water and then my cup. See how it's making that noise? I don't know. I just felt like that might be a little off-putting for you guys. So I'm going to keep my mic off mute because it's like, ugh, you think that you will remember to turn your mic back on, but you don't. So okay, let's go ahead and finish, or rather continue, because this is where it starts to get interesting. And this is where my patience, see, I don't have patience. I did my job very well, but I was very direct. I wasn't for play. Now, mind you, when I was on the police force, we were about 1,000. We were over 1,000. There were not a lot of female officers, and there definitely was not a lot of black female officers. I was one in my we were broken up into districts, and then the district that I was in, I was one of, I believe it was five of us, five or six black female officers, and we weren't for play. You weren't gonna play with us because we had to go through it. Even though um, there were white female officers, they got special treatment. They got kid glove treatment. They got a lot of preferential treatment, and we knew that. Now, you can't be a black woman walking around in this world and not know that that happens. So we knew what it was. But I will say, in this day and age where you got the manosphere out there, and and black men hating on black women and vice versa. We weren't in all of that. We were in it. We had to come together. We had to have each other's back. And some of the black officers I work with, the male officers, they had my back. They were cool. Okay. And we had each other's back. But one thing for sure, you're putting your life out on the line there. And I wanted to go home every night, and I didn't have time to play around, and I didn't have time to indulge. And I was all about control and taking control of the situation. Okay, so Methany would, yeah, she would have been, like I said, she would have been, her tail would have been told to sit down somewhere in that grass or something, but you ain't gonna be wiggling around because they may be little, but these women, they're the worst. They're the worst.
Touch me like this again. You touch me hard. I want a phone for a question.
You're not.
No.
Keep putting your hands in my face.
I'm not going to. I want to get my phone. No, I'm not. He's hurting
right now.
me.
Who's hurting you?
He just did over here. Him.
Okay.
He pushed me hard.
You
I
need
was talking to you.
Back up, and you won't get pushed again. Back up.
I'm talking to. Don't talk to me like that, and don't talk to me again. Oh, because you have authority. Because you have eyelashes. Let's go talk about your backup.
Yes,
let's go find who you are. And you're
my name is Deputy DeLeon with the Indian River County Sheriff's Office.
I'm sure.
That is exactly who I am.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, and if you run up on me one more time, you're going to get pushed a lot harder.
By
do you
the
understand?
way, I never touched you.
Okay.
By the way,
do you want to figure out what's going on with your son or not?
Twice?
Do you need help figuring out what's going on with your son? Do you need help?
Back up your shit right now.
Ma'am.
Do you understand?
Do you need help with your son or not?
Do you want to help to understand? Yeah, I want 4 more cops out here right now because neither one of you are doing this, and don't ever touch me.
You're too close. If I can touch you, that means you're too close.
I know. I was walking towards my house.
So
you're not welcome.
Do you need help with your son or not?
No, you guys can go.
So if you call back again, it's us that's coming out here.
That's fine. Thank you.
So if you don't need our help, don't call us.
Well, guess what? I will call because.
Okay. Well, if you call, it's us coming out. Okay.
Then do your
ma'am. If you call, it's us coming out.
Ready? Then do your fucking job. Touch me again. Touch me again. Stop, please. Stop touching me. I just got a fucking surgery, and you're fucking touching me when I'm fucking.
Again, too much leeway. Another thing on my gun belt was mace. She would have got hosed down at this point. See, again, I don't know. I don't know where this is taking place at. Maybe Cross Country Cruiser knows. I guess I could look at the details. but she's a little bit too close and she's not complying and she's not listening. She's disorderly at this point. She would have been sniffing and eating some mace right now. I don't care. Listen, I don't. There was that none of those. Sorry, neither of those two guys looked to me to be sergeants, so they ain't my boss. They're my coworkers, and they can't tell me. I would have grabbed my mace. I said, "You step one more time to me, crazy, and you're gonna be eating some mace right now." And believe me, if you've ever been maced, it ain't fun. When it gets into any orifice, that stuff ain't fun because we had to be maced in the police academy, so I know. I know it ain't fun. Yeah, she would have been rolling around in that grass, her and that damn boob. I ain't playing. Mm-mm.
Can't fucking feel anything.
Back
Don't
up, ma'am.
fucking touch
Back
me.
up, ma'am.
You're touching me. You
Hands
stop.
behind your back. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
She's hurting me.
Hands behind your back.
She's hurting me.
Hands behind your
You're
back.
not hurting.
Stand still. Hands behind your back. Stand still. Just stand still. Stand still. Well, stand still.
Stop, please. She's hurting me. Please stop hurting me. You really are hurting me. Just stop hurting me. I will not hurt anybody. They're not hurting me. This is hurting me. I would never. Just stop, please. I don't want. Oh, just please stop. This does not have to hurt anybody. No, it does not work. Doesn't work. They don't work. No, they don't.
So,
No, none of those work. It depends on the top. It's a fucking ranching or.
what is your
I'm
name?
telling you the truth. I'm not.
Stop. You're out of control.
I am not.
You are totally out of control.
I have a question for you. Can I have all my shit back? It's like I will never hurt somebody. Just please let me go so I can talk to somebody.
But, you know, I think that you need to talk to somebody too. And
I always talk to somebody. I don't fucking lie about shit. Can you
No, I'm
Go
not
for
gonna.
it.
Can you let her go? Let me talk to you guys, please. Just let her go, because this is a fucking lie from her. Just please stop. I just.
Careful. Right hands.
10:26.
Again, times have changed, training has changed. But first of all, I think you all picked up on why she wanted her to leave. She wanted to play, the damsel in distress to the strong police officer men folk. But let me tell you something about those handcuffs and her wiggling around. She would again only had one time. There is a technique. You grab the middle of the cuffs that's in between, the bracelet part because there's no chain there. It's just a big block of basically a metal that is hinged together. You grab that middle part, you tilt them forward, so basically towards her back. It puts pressure on her wrist. It's not comfortable. She would not have been wiggling around. But then again, Bethany probably is not feeling too much pain, to be quite honest. Would you say succeeding? My question is, why would they not get her some mental health? She would have been taken to the local hospital. Do you think this is a mental health issue? It could be a combination of that, but I don't see this as a mental health issue. And if you are having a mental health crisis, unfortunately, people call the police first. They've been doing that forever. And that's why there's more training now geared towards officers being more versed in individuals with mental health issues or in crisis. But you can be within that crisis and still violating the law, and you have to be held accountable for it. So maybe I'm misunderstanding the comment. Maybe you're having a conversation with somebody in the chat. So I apologize, succeeding, because I know you and me, we think alike. But yeah, they have decided that the police are the ones that deal with mental health issues. And in my city, the mental health facilities are overwhelmed. It's a revolving door. And even if we were to take her to our crisis center, we have a crisis center that we will take people who are having an issue. And usually they don't have room to house them, unfortunately. you know. And with her, I personally don't think it's a mental health issue. I think it's a substance abuse issue. But yeah, controlling her would be the number one thing because she's in cuffs and she's still got a little bit too much freedom, in my opinion. And I know it's the nature of the beast. No, nobody's perfect, and I'm doing the Monday morning quarterbacking. But I think a message should have been sent to her a long time ago, even in her state of inebriation, in my opinion, allegedly. Um, I more control needed to be exerted, and it needed to be communicated to her. We're not playing with you. And what I've seen in a lot of these videos, like I said, soft skills is something that they really pushed, and that's talking with people and getting compliance. So I get it. I get it. I guess a part of me, I am a product of my generation, and that whole thing of, I have the authority, so you need to listen, especially when you know you're dealing with somebody who's not of a rational thought. I am all for citizens' rights. I definitely am. I definitely am. I believe that. I believe that you have the right to defend yourself. I believe the right to have your say and all that stuff. But once you get into those handcuffs, you in you're detained at the very least under arrest at the most. And I'm not gonna play with you. Let me tell you, you can get really hurt really bad. And as this video plays along, you'll see what's at stake here. And like I said, she's feeling herself a little bit too comfortably, in my opinion. So you said you think she has a combination of issues? Yes, but right now the police has to deal with the issue at hand. And and I'm not trying to sound callous, but yeah, they're trained in mental health to some degree, but that's something her family should step in and deal with, or she should take responsibility for her issues and stop self-medicating. Deal with her issues with her the custody issues. Deal with other issues that she has. And stop calling the police as the fixer. Everybody uh, they don't want to deal with the police until they call them, and then when they call them, sometimes they turn on them. So it's a double-edged sword. And believe me, I know there's bad policing out there, so don't think that I'm just a cop lover. I'm on the cop side. I'm just reviewing this video right now. I'm reviewing what's in front of me, and like I said, we're overtaxing our services, and that is why a lot of police officers are stepping away. That's why we're getting a lot of people who don't have a lot of life experience. I think that you should have some maturity about you before you step in this job. Our numbers, I said that we were over 1,000. I think we were like close to 1,200 when I was on the force. Those numbers have dropped below. So they are stressed on many levels. And like I said, now they're having to deal with frivolous calls at a higher rate and also dealing with people who are suffering from mental health issues.
I'm not trying to fight.
Do you see a psychologist?
Yeah, I talked to my own counselor, but I
Talk to
already
your
did
own
shit.
counselor?
Yes, I don't need all of this.
What?
What the fuck are you doing? Why the fuck would you do something like that? No, you're fucking killing my left arm. Hey, stop. My left arm.
I know.
I've
Go.
got 13 screws.
Then walk with them. Just walk. Just walk. Just walk.
No, stop.
Just
You guys
walk.
are hurting me.
Just walk. Just walk. It won't hurt us. You just walk.
I'm not going. Hey, I'm not going. No, I'm not going. I'm
I
staying
believe
here.
that as long as you're in handcuffs,
No,
you're
I'm
going.
sorry. Is that your card? No, it's
Mine's
not my
right here.
card. Let me go, please. Stop, you guys don't understand. I'm dealing with my son. Please, can you just hear me for 1 second, please? You're a safe person. No.
All right, have a seat.
Let me go back in.
Turn around and have a seat.
Not yet. I'm not ready yet. Please, let me use a car. Please,
Have a seat.
please, I never did anything to you.
Have a seat.
Please unstop this.
Ma'am, have a seat, and we
I
can work
just
with
my
you.
dogs back away. No,
Okay,
they're
we'll
my
take care of
dogs. No, let me take care of my things,
Ma'am,
please.
have a seat in the car.
I'm just asking.
Have a seat.
Okay, we'll take care of everything you need help with.
I know you have no
Have a seat.
humanity. because you fucked a lot of people. You've been a nasty bitch.
Yeah.
To so many guys.
I'm
That's
sure.
kind of terrible.
Just have a seat.
Oh, trust me. That's why you moved over here to Bureau.
Oh, okay. Have a
Stop
seat.
touching me.
Have a
You're
seat.
hurting me. Stop touching me.
That's it.
Have a seat.
She's
Get it.
touching me.
Down, calm
I
down.
just had a fucking surgery.
Are you okay?
I just had the surgery. Am I okay? No, she gets. It's fucking hurting me.
Get in the car. Oh, get back. Get back.
Yeah, because Jesus hurting me.
You okay? Nicole, are you okay?
I'm okay.
You're getting in the car.
She gets hurting me.
Nicole, are you okay?
Yeah.
I want to run that back because it's spinning. Hopefully we can go back. But she got kicked in the nose. She got kicked in the face. And I saw that coming if they had not even put that title in there, I saw that coming. As soon as they put her in with her legs sticking out like that, again, Monday morning quarterbacking, I already knew somebody was going to get kicked. And again, it was a recipe for disaster. And this young lady just got kicked in the face. And I know it hurts. I know it hurts. So let me see if I can run it back, see if it actually runs smooth. Probably won't, but I'll try. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. These types of situations, just because it's a female, and I know there was a comment where somebody said that she basically wimped out. The female officer wimped out. That's definitely not the case. I don't believe that. If it wasn't her, the one of the other officers would have took that foot to the face. So I don't think it's gender specific. Of course, a lot of people like to think like that anyway. But anyway,
Hurting me. Stop touching me.
That's it.
Have a seat.
yeah, it's gonna spin again.
She's
Get it.
touching me.
Down, calm
I
down.
just had a fucking surgery.
Are you okay?
I just had the surgery. Am I okay? No, she gets fucking hurting me.
Get in the car. Oh. Get back.
Yeah, because Jesus hurting me.
It jumped. So if you get a chance, I'll put a link to this video. So if
You
you want
okay?
to watch it
Nicole, are you
without all these pauses.
okay?
I'm okay.
You're getting in the car.
She gets hurting me.
Nicole, are you okay?
Nurse Sanders.
You sure?
You would have kicked her back, Nurse Sanders.
We did great.
No, I don't think so.
I'm good.
Okay.
I just
No,
gotta
I know.
breathe.
I know.
It hurts.
It's okay. I understand. It's okay.
That hurt.
I know. I saw it.
Okay, I'm okay.
You okay?
Yeah.
You sure?
Now you just got a felony
For what?
for kicking her in the face.
I never kicked her in the face.
You did. I watched you do it. It's all on video. It's all on video.
We wear cameras. want to get checked out?
No.
You sure? What color are your eyes? What color are your eyes, Crystal?
The fucking car on my fucking driver's license. Are you kidding me right now?
I'm asking
I'm
you.
in so much pain right now.
Oh, I thought it was the end. I forgot.
Yeah, you turn around and say, hey, your name is what? I have a fucking, I can't even breathe upon my fucking, I can't breathe upon my chest. I have not seen my son in fucking months. I told everybody, and this is what I get. God, you're kidding. And guess what? Ask for your pal to keep recording when I got in the fucking car. Let's see every time that you're missing what they can't get. Let's see if it helps you avert this.
Okay, that was a nasty piece of work, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you think? Let me tell you. Uh, this is not even a hard one. Like I said, I'm going to start watching these, and I've watched a lot of them, but I didn't bookmark them or put them to a playlist. But I will be doing that because there's some really interesting body cam footage out there. And before the body cam was a thing, or even YouTube was a thing, we used to do citizen ride-alongs, and I used to always encourage people to do ride-alongs, to get a kind of a feel of what it actually looks like out there on the streets, um, because you really don't know until you go out there. To be quite honest, you really don't know what the day to day interactions with the community look like. And like I said, I was in a very urban area. That looks like they were in a somewhat rural area. It looks like that she at least was in a rural area, and so coming, now what happens is, just to kind of give you a behind the scenes, is because I was dispatcher and I would take calls too, but dispatching was something I tried to do when I left policing, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it simply because I was still too close to policing. I still knew a lot of the officers, and I felt kind of helpless on the other side of the radio, and I knew how important that voice on the other side of the radio is. The dispatchers are the MVP, in my opinion. I Let me tell you, when I was first trying to dispatch, I would rather go suit back up and go back out on the streets. But let me go through some of the comments, and also because I kind of highlighted some of the comments as you guys were having a conversation regarding this. So I did not want to skip over this, and I thought I had highlighted your comment succeeding, but I didn't. And I know this is Nurse, sorry, Sanders RN. I call you Nurse Sanders. I don't know. That's what I see in my head when I see Sanders RN. But anyway, Sanders RN said they're definitely not equipped at succeeding to. There should be a mental health task force to deal with drugs and mental health issues. Now we do have something in my city, and it's they are. In social work, they have contracted with our city, and if we know if there is a mental health crisis or there is a history of mental health crisis, they are basically are they were called mobile. I forgot what they were called. There was a mobile alert. I can't think of the name. It'll come to me in the middle of the night, or rather, while I'm sleeping, it'll come to me. Mobile crisis. That's what they were called, and they would be called out. So we have that in our city, and that is to help us, or rather help the officers when you're dealing with someone that's having a mental health crisis. And unfortunately, because of funding and uh, you know they no longer institutionalize people with mental health issues, which I totally agree with. I just wish that there were things in place that could really assist that population, because family members, I believe Chick-fil-A, you had mentioned something here. In fact, I think I did start your comment too. But yeah, police aren't really, it's not even that they aren't equipped. Well, that's obvious, they're not equipped to do it. Sometimes there are just certain things that you have to be have some maturity to kind of understand too. So I think that plays a part in it. And then I highlighted, I starred Legacy Moon. I hate to say it, but she would have been fully tased by now if she was a black woman. And that, see, a lot of these body cam videos, I noticed a pattern because of views, and people are going to go where the views are. A lot of them are showing interventions or interactions with women. The Karens are probably the number one, and we all know who the Karens are. But I have watched other ones, and honestly, excuse me, I kind of stay away from the actual ones that involve like that made national news because they get very contentious. So I just kind of watch the benign, I call them benign ones, like shoplifting videos and things of that nature. And so I will be, watching more of those and we can discuss that. But yeah, now they are quick to use the taser. I don't see mace being used as much. We definitely, like I said, I didn't have the taser. The taser came about maybe after a year after I left, but and that was basically to get away from hand to hand combat, to keep hands off, to give the officer some safety, and that's what the taser was meant. But mace is very powerful, and I suggest that any woman or any person who's watching this, I'm watching, just keep that in mind. Mace, I don't know too many people who can take mace even in a state of intoxication or even with mental health issues going on, because the mucous membranes just do what they want to do. The tearing and the snot and the saliva, you can't shut that off. That's an involuntary reaction, and it's very disabling. And the next comment that I highlighted was from Chick Filet Gal. She says, "At succeeding too, n- no, a lot or not. Heck, I can barely deal with my one daughter's mental health issues. I'm impatient." And we do get that. We get that a lot with family members. I know growing up as a child, we were very close on the street. We were a very close street. Everybody knew everybody on our block. And one of the families, they had a son who had some mental delays, and sometimes he would kind of throw a tantrum. Basically, I mean, he was a big kid. He was throw a tantrum, but everybody knew he was harmless and nobody bothered him. They let him blow off steam. His mom would come out and tell him to hush and get in the house, and he would listen. Nobody was calling the police. Nowadays, somebody would call the police, and now the police are dealing with somebody that everybody knows they'll be okay. They're just agitated. Just give them time. They're okay. But the police don't have that information, so it can become a very dangerous situation. And I can talk about a situation that I had, but we're already at the 2 hour mark, and I kind of want to let you guys go. It's a little past midnight. I don't want to hold you up. Um, and then Jackson Tabasco. Um, Bank, have you ever been in the military before becoming a cop? No, I wasn't. I just listen. I My 20s were very interesting. I was trying to find myself. I was a flight attendant at one time, and then I went into policing. Um, I don't know where else I would have probably went from there, but no, I just was. I thought I was going to be an attorney. And then I said, well, you know what? Let's see what's going on with this law enforcement thing. And I will say, even though I walked away because I said it wasn't my ministry, there was a part of me, and there's still a part of me that wishes that I had stayed around, because once I reconnected with law enforcement and I worked for a smaller agency that's pretty much inside of the larger agency I worked for, I got to see a lot of the people that I was in a police academy with, and to reconnect with those people and to see them grow in their careers. Some of them are lieutenants, captains. It's a great thing. And quite a few of them are retiring because it's been 25 years and they met their requirement. But no, I've never been in the military. But yeah, this video was something else. I don't like nurse. Sorry, I want to call. You know what? I'm just renaming you. I'm just gonna rename you Sanders. You're gonna be Nurse Sanders. Okay, I've decided that, and there's nothing you can do about it. This is my channel. But you said that you would have hit her back, and I'm trying to think. For me, I was very blessed. I was in a very busy district that saw the most radio traffic in the city, and there were, I did have to put my hands on people to wrestle them into custody, and have backup there were some, very precarious situations, but I was very lucky not to have gotten injured. Okay, I was very lucky not to have gotten injured, but I do know of some officers that were, physically assaulted, got punched in the face and all that other stuff. But a lot of the injuries came from honestly like foot pursuits, blowing out their knee, or in the middle of trying to wrestle someone down, pulling a muscle, hurting their backs. I mean, a lot of it comes from what she's doing. That's why I said control is very important. And women are some of the slipperiest customers. We can contort ourselves all kinds of ways. The way we can work our body is not to it's unmatched in my opinion. So let me kind of get caught up on what you guys saying, and I'll kind of run through my thoughts too as I do so. Let's see here. So Chick-fil-A girl said my daughter once in the sixth grade took my mace to school, and her whole classroom had to exit. I was pissed and tickled. Yeah, like I said, I had to be maced because there are situations where there's blowback. So you had to know what that sensation felt like. But yeah, it's something else. And when you're in the middle of it, the adrenaline rush. I mean, that young lady took that kick to the face, and I have never been punched in the nose or been hit accidentally in the nose. But when I was reading the comments, so if anybody else can attest to it, and Sanders RN, you could probably attest. But they said the tearing up is just instant. You don't have to do much. You will tear up because some people were trying to get on her for quote unquote crying, but I've never been hit in the face, and she's gonna feel it later. And that was a felony. So this lady probably would have just went to jail for disorderly conduct. They would have told her, to sober her up, and then they would have released her. She may have had to go before a judge, but now she's looking at a felony right there. She could have broken her nose. So yeah, for me, I can tell you right now, I'm with you, Sanders. The patience. But it's so funny because you are hired to do a job, and for me, I consider myself to be a good cop, and I wasn't interested in catching anything outside of that. So as much as I would love to review the body cam videos of some of the high profile cases out there, they're triggering to me because I see the wrong. I definitely see what went wrong and who was responsible for it. I have no problem in admitting when cops are wrong and when they did something wrong. I'm that whole blue line thing, even when I was in uniform, because right is right and wrong is wrong. So Mai Tai, you said you've been punched. You said I was punched in the nose and you tear up. Yeah, that's what she was doing. Um, yeah, but again, it comes down to control. So her biggest problem was this lady's biggest problem was she was under the influence of something. I don't know. I know succeeding says that she thinks it's a combination of things. Really, I don't think so. I personally don't think so. I just think this woman was having a bad day and decided to start drinking and took all of her anger and frustrations out on those cops. I think that's what it is. I'll be looking at other body cam videos in the future. Like I said, I'll probably move those over to a whole separate platform or other channel than this channel, and we can talk about those things more in depth. And I can kind of give you some real stories that some of the things that I encounter, or some of the things that I even, you know, found out about after the fact, because the cops, they do have a relationship with their dispatchers, and they'll fill us in on the details. And Latoya, you said it's not that many good cops. You know what? I'll be quite honest with you, and we, I think we're on the same wavelength. So this is not to say you're wrong, but I was on a force with a lot of good cops. There were some bad seeds, there were some bad apples, and I'm talking about even the white officers. And that's probably why it's important, I think, for minority presence to be on a police force. That police departments really need to really get up their recruitment of women and minorities from all backgrounds, whether it's African Americans, Hispanic, or even from if they're from like India or whatever. Because if you are not one of those people who want to conform and get along and be one of the boys in the sense that you're cool with everybody, you have a life, and you don't identify yourself as a cop, you keep them honest. I wasn't going down for anyone. So let me tell you, I'm going to wrap this up, but I want to just tell you this story real quick because it goes to what you're kind of saying, Latoy. Um, One of the worst incidents that I witnessed was with a black cop, and I had to tell him about himself, and I didn't have a problem doing that. And one of the best incidents that I witnessed with a cop was with a white officer. It was basically this woman, and she did have some mental health issues. She wasn't on any controlled substances. She should have been taking her medication, and she wasn't. And she was having an episode, and her poor kids had to witness it. Her kids were teenagers. They probably were like 13 and 16. It was a boy and a girl, and their mama was ranting and raving to the moon. It was awful. It was just awful. And my heart just broke for those two people, those two young people. This was their mom. And we had to go and try to calm her down for the night. And I watched this officer let her call him everything but a child of God, take all her anger and frustration out on him. All of her words, all of her nastiness, all of that venom until she exhausted herself, but she just wanted to go to sleep so those kids can get a good night's sleep. I've seen that. Now I've seen the flip side. I've seen bad female officers too. Like I said, I got stories. I got stories for days. I think everybody comes in, at least in this time. I think some of it is time too. I'll say this much, Latoya. My experience was 20 years ago, and that's where there was a changing of the guard. There was a lot of OG, old school police officers that did not believe that blacks or females should be police officers. So we had to deal with that. But for the most part, getting good officers is very hard now because the radio just does not stop. They're under a lot of stress, and it takes a lot of maturity. So society and training and plays a big part in the type of policing that we get. Psychological evaluations, what they have to go through to be a police officer, has gotten a lot more lax because of the demand, and it is a scary thought. It is a scary thought, and I don't know what we're getting anymore because I was just post. I was there even during 9/11, so we got a lot of ex-military in there now, uh, too, but we're also getting a lot of people that are green. And when I say green, is they have very little life experience. They come from the suburb. They come from a very sheltered living, and it's hard for them to relate. And the last thing a lot of departments are getting there are, I don't know what they call them, but they jump around from county to county, city to city, state to state. They've been dismissed, or they didn't make the grade in the other departments, and these other departments are hiring them, and we've seen that on the national level. So this is gonna wrap up this live. I appreciate everybody who stuck it in with me. If you are here and you did not see the beginning, I would say maybe like the first half hour, 45 minutes. Make sure you rewind it. Again, I've added memberships, and I'm really excited about that. There's some other things I want to do here on this channel. I do have a video queued up, maybe for tomorrow. It's a long one. I was fortunate enough, I guess you want to say I was fortunate enough. I was fortunate enough to download one of her last lives in its entirety. Is about 2 hours. Now I do have what I would call a super cut. It's about 45 minutes. So you guys let me know. You can let me know now or in the comments. But I can either upload that super cut, or I can actually play the whole 2 hour live and we can kind of go over it. To me, it kind of adds some insight. I know some people are sick of her, but the evolution of Sonya, not just in her attitude and perspective and her looks, it's very clear and evident in this 1 2 hour long video. So you guys just let me know what you want. And again, if you want to know more or to see more, hang out with me behind the scenes, or participate in members only chats or lives, make sure you join my membership. And also, as a thank you, if you join my membership, I will give you a complimentary 3 night stay in Las Vegas. Yes, I am giving that to you. And if you buy, or rather gift memberships, anybody gifted a membership, I will give them the same thing. So yes, that's gonna wrap it up tonight. And I appreciate everyone. I appreciate my mods. And just to let you guys know, I will get you your links first thing. No later than tomorrow afternoon. I don't know what time I'm going to get up. I'm not going to lie. And the reason I'm doing that, because you get the clock starts with the 7 days to activate if you decide to activate it. And I want to make sure that you get all of your time in. So I will make sure I go over to Instagram and I will get you those links so you can activate your vacation stay if you decide to take the up the offer. And again, I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys coming in here. The last live I did, it was hectic. It was hectic, and I loved it. But I like this too. This was pretty intimate. I like this. I like hanging out with you guys. All the names that came in here, I'm used to mixing it up with you guys in the chat. I love hanging out in the chat, and I'm just trying to, figure this thing out. This thing called YouTube. So let me know what you want me to do. I will be breaking down the transcripts. I will come live and do that because I like your input, and we're running up into that October 2nd date that where they do all that pretrial stuff. So I'm not gonna hold you guys any longer. It's been long enough. And again, I appreciate you guys coming through. So until the next time I see you see you guys, I will talk to you later. Bye now.